People are just buying these stocks just because everybody is talking about them and there's a lot of momentum in them. And so they're going up. And so people want to jump on a moving train. And sometimes it's about, hey, we're going to make a political statement. We're going to stick it to the man. We're going to run the shorts, which was the story with respect to GameStop. The whole idea that this is some type of legitimate style of investing is complete nonsense. And, the reason I wanted to talk about it this week, and I've mentioned it before, but we really had an incredible move on Wednesday in shares of AMC, which is a company that owns movie theaters and was in a lot of trouble in the last year. The 52-week low on the stock is $1.91. And on Wednesday, it got as high as $72.62. Although I saw it trading, I think closer to $80 on Thursday morning, before the open in the pre-market. But it basically doubled in price on massive volume on Wednesday. And there was no real news out on the company. In fact, the only news was a story that the CEO of the company had decided to kind of reach out to all these Reddit shareholders or Wall Street bets guys because the stock was up quite a bit the day before. And the news was that anybody who self-identified as a shareholder on the internet could qualify for free popcorn when they go to one of their movies. And there were some other perks. So supposedly free popcorn was the catalyst for buying the stock, even though technically you didn't actually have to buy the stock. You just had to claim you owned the stock and you can get the free popcorn. But the fact that they're giving away free popcorn, how is that good news? Movie theaters make a lot of money selling popcorn. It's a very high margin product, right, at the concession stand. So they make a lot of money when you buy that stuff. Now, if they give away the popcorn for free, that's obviously not good news for a company that's already hurting. This company was on its way for bankruptcy. The bonds were trading for pennies on the dollar because the bondholders knew that they weren't going to get their money back. In fact, the bondholders were going to become the owners of this company until all these people started buying this stock based on these chat rooms. And so I'm watching the coverage of this on CNBC, and they have all these people, they're talking about AMC. They finally stopped talking about Bitcoin for a while, and they can start focusing on AMC. And so they're talking about what's going on at AMC, and you get one guy after another, seasoned investors, been around for a long time, kind of saying, well, I just don't get this new style of investing. It's not the way I buy stocks. Clearly there's no reason for this because the valuation isn't there. I think that the valuation of the company got to $30 billion on Wednesday. And that's just the value of the stock, not the enterprise value that includes all the bonds. All they have is about 1,000 movie theaters, not quite that many, most of them losing money. It's a very, very bad business. It was a bad business before COVID, and it's a worse business now because a lot of people are staying at home. They're streaming movies at home. A lot of these companies now are releasing the movies instead of at the theater. Brand new movies are coming out in streaming services. So why go to the movies and pay, 10, 12, 15 bucks a person to bring your family to a movie when you can stay at home and just watch the same movie at the same time on what probably is a big screen TV, high definition, 4K, whatever you got, your home theater. So these movie theaters are dying out, yet somehow this is the stock that all these meme traders decided they all wanted to pile into. And so the thing is going up, and you have these Wall Street guys scratching their heads, hey, I don't understand this new style of investing, instead of coming out and admitting what it is. This is not investing. This is just gambling. And it's not new. People have been gambling for a long time. This is really Ponzi's or pyramids, chain letters, whatever you want to call it. The only thing that's new about this is the way it's being done, right? You've got all these novice investors, inexperienced investors, have no clue what they're doing, right? They now have trading apps, Robinhood Online. All of a sudden, the U.S. government sends out a bunch of stimulus money. So now they've got all this cash. And so they just buy all these stocks that they're reading about in these chat rooms. They don't understand anything about fundamental analysis. They're just buying whatever's getting hyped up. And, there's so much cash. The Federal Reserve has basically turned the stock market into an outright casino, and everybody is gambling. Nobody here is investing. And this is going to end horribly for everybody. Just like when I talked about it initially, when we had the big run up in GameStop, now we're having this run up in AMC, but it's not just AMC. Bed Bath & Beyond, BlackBerry, you have a few of these other stocks that are having huge moves up because people are piling into them. But the only people who are going to make money in these stocks are the people who sell before the music stops. This is a zero-sum game. Some people are going to make money, and some people are going to be left holding the bag because AMC is not going to generate a profit. They're not going to pay dividends. None of these shareholders are going to make money owning a part of this business. So the only way you make money in AMC is if you buy it and then you find a bigger idiot to pay a higher price than you did. But eventually, you're the last idiot and you get stuck holding the bag. But actually, for the small traders who are buying this stock, it's not really going to be a zero-sum game. It's going to be a negative-sum game because the company is unloading stock onto the market. In fact, on Thursday morning before the open, one of the reasons the stock reversed and opened lower was because the company announced like $500 million worth of stock, 11 million shares they were going to unload, and they sold more stock today. They've sold like over $1 billion worth of stock. So the company is creating these shares out of thin air and just selling them into the market. So these buyers are buying it from the company. So they're not enriching another guy who's selling the stock. The money is just going right into the company. And here's the irony of it all. The people who are being enriched are the bondholders because now the bonds are going up. The company is taking this money that it is getting by selling these shares to a bunch of idiots who are buying them on their trading apps, and they're taking this money and repaying bondholders that were not going to get repaid. And if you think you're sticking it to the man by buying shares of AMC, you're just giving the man your money. Who do you think owns these bonds? You think it's small investors that own AMC bonds? No, it's hedge funds. It's institutions. It's some of these speculators that bought this debt on the cheap because it was heavily discounted, and now they're getting a windfall because the company is now able to repay debt that it never could have repaid. What would have happened was the bondholders would have ended up owning this company. Instead, a bunch of idiots are going to end up owning the company, and the bondholders get a get-out-of-jail-free card because of these pump and dump schemes going on with these meme stocks.
The Peter Schiff Show.